Our last review of the day is going to be for the movie Avatar:
Mhm.
Fire and Ash. This is the third movie in the Avatar series, directed and created by James Cameron there. Um, this big sci-fi epic, what is going on in this one? This movie that's over 3 hours long,
Mm.
there. What is going on in this movie? Well, after the events of the second film there, and we're gonna be spoiling the second film, we're gonna be getting the details of that a little bit. If people haven't seen the second film, then, I recommend checking it out, I guess, and coming back to this review. So in this movie, so there's still the Sully family is still reeling from the death of the eldest son there. They're still reeling from the events of that kind of going on. And I don't know, do you know how long this is supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like a week or so or a couple
This is
weeks?
like yeah, like a week or 2. It's not
Okay.
long at all. It's
The
basically right after the events of the second movie.
Yeah, it's like basically, yeah. So it's like right after the events of what happened in the second one. The whole family's still reeling from that. You still have Stephen Lang in this film there that's still chasing them. They're still after the Sullys. He still wants Jake because he is a traitor to the human race of what he did in the first film. So there's still that element of it. You still have the humans who they will not give up. Humans, they still want Pandora. They want all the resources of Pandora. They want to colonize
I
the
mean,
planet.
the
Uh,
humans can just keep doing this indefinitely.
Basically, I mean, it's just like they're not gonna run out of humans, I guess. So it's like, unless I don't know, maybe in another Avatar, the Avatars people are going, the Navi are going like, okay, we gotta take the fight to them, I guess.
Sure,
Uh,
okay.
sure. I mean, because like you said, this kind of could just keep going. You bring up that point, I'm gonna bring up later in my review of it, and how I feel about this movie. But yeah, so that's still an element of here, but you have a new group of Na'vi who we've not seen before in these movies, the Ash people here. And the Ash people are led by a character called, which this person mentioned here, Elaine Fisher there, Varang there. Is that how you say it?
Varang,
Varang.
Varang, it doesn't matter.
Who's played by Una Chaplin there, who's like this leader of the Ash people there. She actually looks a lot like that woman who was in the Penguin. She
Mm.
looks a lot like her.
I can see
Um,
that.
yeah, so she's like the leader of these people, and she's like this very kind of ferocious, kind of vicious leader there in a sense there, and it almost makes me wish. I wish the movie, instead of including the humans, because we've seen the humans now for 2 movies as the
Yeah.
villains, we focus more on these people and their ways because they have a different customs and ways of we've seen differently from the Navi people, from the
Yeah.
other Navi people, even with the water people that we saw in the second movie. We see that they're still very much religious, very much, believing in the God
Mhm.
and, the
Mother Planet, basically.
mother planet, Awa, things like that.
Just
You
in,
know,
like, the water and the life that it provides instead of the trees and all this, and Varang
yeah,
and her people are like, "Let it all burn, baby."
pretty much. I mean, yeah,
Like,
that
nature requires cleansing.
mm. So it's a
Like
very different aspect of the
yeah.
people we have not
It's still
seen.
a worship of nature, it's just you need to it can't just keep growing forever, there needs to be a cleansing at certain points,
Mm,
because ash renews.
yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I wish they explored that more with that. But you see those are a new group of Navi there with those people. And then there's an interesting aspect that comes on with the boy Spider there, who is the son of the Stephen Lang character. There's something interesting that happens with him that's like, okay, this could be potentially dangerous for the Navi people, but it could potentially be a great thing for the human race there for their attempts to colonize the planet of Pandora. So he becomes very valuable and potentially an asset. He's like, okay, this guy can be, so people kind of want him as
It is by
well.
far the most, interesting element of the movie.
Yeah. So Dusk, what are your thoughts here, man? Avatar, Fire and Ash.
Well, this is, Dances with Wolves 3. It's the same thing that we've done before. Some of the elements have changed, but ultimately, this is a film about just how much civilization kinda sucks, humanity sucks, and it's just all about that rejection of humanity and civilization for just it's just like, oh, how dare you come from this bad world that you're ruining all this, and how dare you, and then they kind of hide it over the nature of, oh, it's the family and Mother Earth and this and this, and I have the same problems I've had with the first movie, with the same problems I had with the second, that has also fallen on this movie.
Mm.
It's just the same story, same type, same situation. I'm going to give the same thing I did for the last one. The visuals are groundbreaking and incredible. Genuinely best in the business.
Mm.
Fascinating. It's a roller coaster ride. Uh, if I wasn't looking at the Wikipedia page right now for the cast, I couldn't tell you who was who and their names, except for Stephen Lang and Jake Sully. Jake Sully.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And
they say his
Zoe,
name a lot.
they do. So I can know that name. And Neytiri, aka Zoe Saldana. That
Mm.
and Spider. That's about it.
Mm.
Everyone else, you just go, it's the same thing, man. And the most interesting aspect of this movie comes with Spider. Spider
Mm.
is this interesting bridge. Like, okay, finally, we're gonna do something a little bit more interesting with the humans and go a little bit more interesting with this. And they're like, a little, and then we're just gonna be stupid again and have human beings just be really dumb. And
Mm.
then it just goes back. There's a big battle at the very end, and then there'll be a compromise, and then the humans, and then you got to choose sides of who's family and who's not, and then it's back to like space. It's like watching a TV show where every episode has to go back to the status quo.
It's got to reset. Uh, yeah, I kind of feel now that this is the third movie that we've got now, and I think I heard James Cameron. He just came out and
He
said
wants
that
4 and 5, baby.
well, he wants 4 and 5, but he also says like, well, he's like, well, I don't want to do these movies forever, and I want to kind of move on eventually, and maybe take a break from doing these movies. Um,
Mhm.
And, the second one coming out, I mean, there had been such a long gap between the
Yes.
first and the second one,
Huge gap.
uh, over a 10-year gap. So it's kinda like when it came back, it was like, "Oh, right, these movies, okay." Um, and like you said, now that this is like it's been 3 years since the second one, you are starting to notice a lot of similarities between both these movies. Like you mentioned all these elements before.
Mhm.
There's a big battle at the end. It's nature versus, people and big, military equipment and everything like that, which is going to win out. Take a big
It is
guess.
beat for beat the same movie made 3 times.
Yeah, and then even like watching this movie, and I even just played the trailer. I was even looking at this trailer and watching the movie, going like, "Wait a minute, am I?
No, this is the
Hold
second movie you were playing, and I thought that was the joke.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I was like, even watching, I was like, wait a second, are they playing at Way of Water? Oh no, this is still the this is still the Fire and Ash movie because it's
Yeah,
like,
they're just playing elements from The Way of Water.
it's like it's kind of so similar to what's going on here. I was like,
Yeah.
what's there's not really much big difference here. And I mean, if you're really into these characters and into the story there, I mean, the theater I was in, there was people sitting some many seats down from me. I guess I ran into like the biggest Avatar fans in the world. They were clapping and all the big moments. They were jumping up in their seat. I was like, holy shit, this might be the biggest Avatar fans in the whole fucking world right here. They were really into it. They really loved it. And they were really kind of enjoying it. But yeah, just for me, like, it kind of makes me want to go back to watch Way of Water again because like how similar was it? Um, you have the stuff with the Sigourney Weaver character where her thing of we even talked about this even reviewing the second movie of how she's like becoming almost like this Deus ex machina goddess type figure and all the things that she can do. And there's something that she does in this that just works. That's pretty similar. Then the whole stuff with Zoe Saldana's character, she has a little bit of an interesting arc, I think, of like overcoming this anger that she has, now that
Oh,
she's
yeah.
lost her child.
By the
And then
second movie, she was just basically a beast in anger.
yeah, and I thought that was kind of interesting coming into this one, how she's going to overcome that. And then also how the Una Chaplin character, how she's such a mirror of what Zoe Saldana's character is. And I think they should have maybe. I mean, I don't want to tell James Cameron. I mean, he obviously knows it. I mean, but I think it was just more interesting for me to watch like that dynamic. And I wish, how like um Jake has his nemesis with the
With
Stephen
Steve.
Lang character, Quaritch.
Mhm.
I wish, she has her own nemesis kind of character
Yeah.
with Una Chaplin and
She's
Varang.
basically the antithesis of she's the antithesis of everything that Zoe Saldana's, character was in the first movie. Zoe Saldana, she was the daughter of the chief and chiefess, and she loved the big tree, the nature of the tree. Well, who's the bigger antithesis of someone who burns that shit down, lives in a
Yeah.
volcano, who cares about fire? She's
Mm.
basically the negative. This isn't deep. These movies aren't deep. She's the negative aspect to Zoe Saldana's character Neytiri. It's the same
Yeah.
thing with Jake Sully nemesis being Steve Lang, who is the polar opposite of what he became. He started off being similar to Steve Lang, and then eventually diverted and changed.
Mm.
That
And
yeah,
oh, I'm sorry. I
no,
don't
they're
mean.
reflections of each other. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. And I mean, in Stephen Lang, I mean, like I said, now that this recurring villain, he's showing up in his third one, he's getting less intimidating every movie.
Yeah,
You know, and then this movie, and I like Stephen Lang, and and I think he's a
but the
good
dude's
actor.
73.
And he looks good. I mean,
Oh
good looking.
yeah,
And he was just in Sisu. He was just in Sisu 2.
yeah,
And he's very intimidating in Sisu 2. And everything
yeah,
like that. But it's just kind of like, man, you got your ass kicked the last two movies. I don't think this third movie is going to be any that different. So I'm like,
yeah.
you're not really posing that much of a threat anymore. I feel like, and they do the whole there's a little bit of a dynamic with him, and like I said, he has the son Spider, and then also again the interesting thing with him that they kind of play with, but I don't think they fully go
Mhm.
into is that the fact that he has the memories of the human version
Of his
Stephen Lang's
human
character.
self.
Yeah, but, obviously he's not, him there, so it's
He's not
like,
the same guy anymore.
so there's some kinda interesting thing there, but they don't go that deep into it. Again, this is a big movie. There's a lot of different moving things they have to kinda move around the board.
Dude,
A
this
lot of
movie's
it
3 hours. You think they couldn't have fit that in?
yeah, a lot of kinda shifting pieces there. A lot of
A
it's the
lot of this
same
is
kind of
spectacle.
spectacle, shifting pieces because it's like even like I said, I mean, it's the same kind of shit of like they get kidnapped, they rescue the person from getting kidnapped, then they get kidnapped again, and they got to rescue the other. I was like, what the fuck? I mean,
Mhm.
like I was like, come on, man. I mean, like this is kind of getting a little ridiculous, man. Um, and it's Zoe Saldana, not Zoe Kravitz. See,
Yeah.
Hunter don't know what the fuck he talking. Mix up his black woman. That's what we talking about, Hunter. And then Sage from Random Shooty said, I came back. All I heard was these movies aren't deep. I knew you were talking about Avatar
Mhm.
there. And then Hunter also said, while I never have been a fan of these films, I think it needs to be studied how bad Sam Worthington is in everything. Man on the Ledge, Clash, Wrath of Titans, just a garbage actor. I think
He's
maybe
fine.
he sort of works in these movies. I mean, the only movie I've seen he's been really good in was a movie called The Debt. There was
Mm,
that movie. It was a movie with him and Helen Mirren, Jessica Chastain. His kind of stoic nature works in the movie like that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think he's like the best actor in the world or anything like that. I think he doesn't blow me away or anything.
No.
Um, but yeah, I mean, these movies, I mean, like you mentioned before, gorgeous films, gorgeous, beautiful.
Mhm.
And if you are gonna see this, see it in the best possible way. Go to your movie theater that has the biggest screen, see it in IMAX, see it in IMAX 3D. I have to admit, I was getting a little uncomfortable wearing those glasses for that long. I mean,
Mhm.
3 hours there. But yeah, so that kind of was a thing. But yeah, if you are going to see this in the best screen possible. I was listening to a review. It was from a critic, Christy. She does a channel there called Breakfast All Day, and she kind of compared it to how like when you go buy a new TV and you go to Best Buy or Target and like there's like a movie playing
Yes.
on the TV and you just
Yes.
watching it to show it, and they're just playing on the TV to show you like the
Look at all
visuals
these
of it.
colors. Look at all the things, all the details.
Yeah, it's kinda like this is a this is like a movie like that just would be playing on the TV, at a Target or Best Buy or something like that, and you just kinda be watching it, and, I appreciate the technological advancements that this movie has made for film and everything like that. I respect that with it, Yes, I get that these stories are not the deepest stories, and a lot of big blockbuster movies are not always the deepest stories either. Um, and I think it has a lot more going for it than maybe some other big blockbuster movies, but I guess that's not saying much. I mean, what are your thoughts there?
I man, like I keep saying, this movie, it has all the time in the world to tell its story. It's had 3 collectively, this series has had 9 hours to tell its story. 9 hours to tell its story. Here's another James Cameron movie. The first Terminator, the first second Terminator came out. It's like maybe an hour and 20 minutes. So much happens in that, and that's the extended cut, by the way. An hour 20, hour 30. So much more happens in that movie, and it's so much more of a satisfying ending to this. He's made other movies, Aliens, about same length, 110, 113 minutes. And that's the extended version. That guy can do a lot with a little. I've seen Abyss. That one's pretty solid. That's when the got his career started. He almost killed his actors for it. The guy's always been fascinated with water. He's a very good technical director. No one could deny that. He is a technically great director. But these movies, he's not a writer. He's written scripts. Don't get me wrong. He's written scripts, and other people have used his scripts in movies. And when you see those movies, you realize it's the director and the actors who directs those actors, because a lot of his scripts are workmanlike. They're very bare bones. They're very A to B, not very conventional dialogue. They're very segmented, very structured, because he's a very structured kind of a guy. He's very good at that. These
Mm,
movies just technically are impressive, but they've had all the time in the world to tell a better story, and they just keep not doing that. They just don't. That's not what their interest is. Their interest is these big spectacles. And so when he comes out and says, "Well, I don't know if I want to keep doing this forever," I'm like, "Bro, I just like one good movie that wasn't just a redundant thing. I would just like one." The only positive I'll give, the positive besides this, is I'm happy that a movie's about a family at least, and that the dad, Sam Worthington's character, Jake Sully, at least is around for his kids and he cares about his family. That is a
mm,
unfortunately an exceedingly rare quality in modern movies, which is a damn shame, and it's BS, and I hate it. And it's sad that I have to point out one of the positives in this movie is just doing the bare minimum of having a father who gives a crap about his family and is shown fairly positively as a protector. But that doesn't save it. These kind of movies, it just doesn't save it. And the
mm,
character lists just keep getting bigger and bigger with more and more of a cast.
mm.
At some point, you got to wrap this up, man. And especially with all the resources humans have, all the stuff that they set up in the first movie, it was already bad enough and always not a good movie. But my first complaint was this, my complaint from the very beginning of the first movie is the same with this. You as like, yes, we defeated the humans, and then they came back. I'm like, well, of course they did. The humans like want to come back to Pandora, and especially what you introduced with this one with Spider. Now, Spider's even more important from what they've studied from him. You think they're not going to try to do everything they can to get him now so that
Mm,
they can just come and just stay? And like,
mm,
yeah, the whole Kiri's big origin. I'm like, yeah, no crap. The same actress has been playing. Sigourney Weaver's been playing that character. I think we guessed
yeah.
a movie ago.
And Sigourney Weaver, she said her character's supposed to have I guess, a bigger role in the next one because she's supposed to narrate the next one. So
Oh
I
my
guess,
god. Yeah, I mean that's what they've been kind of setting up is her to be like the basically the Gaia of the
mm,
planet, the mother, the shaman, basically.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes it sound like I'm shitting on it hard. I mean, I guess I still had a good time with it. I mean, like I said, it is impressive there visually. I think there's some good elements as far as some villains kind of go. Like I said, Una Chaplin, I think, her character in the Ash People. I just, like we did with Way of Water, I wish we focus more on like their culture and what's kind of going on there with them and how they kind of operate. And I think the humans, if you kind of maybe put them at a reduced role there, I think that also would have been pretty good just to focus more on like just the Navi people
Yeah,
and
like
them, having this intro. kind of battle and turmoil there. I think that also would have been good to kind of see in a full out maybe fight between the Ash people and between, these people. I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, no, I wasn't. It's just yeah, that would be nice, but the whole idea is like humans ain't going nowhere. So stop focusing on that. Like the humans are going to be a big part of this, and he keeps just like shitting on humanity. Can we not have human beings being stupid and completely just like only the Navi are good people, only this, and then you introduce a Navi that maybe aren't the best, and like, ooh, being a little, you're really stretching yourself, James, really stretching yourself, your writing capability, and
Mm,
even then, he doesn't give that much time to it. They're just another fodder to do his dances with wolves for the 3 times in a row. He's going to do that for 4 and 5. There's only one way this is going to end.
mm.
There's only one way this is going to end. Either humans make peace with the Navi and they make peace, or Navi somehow leave their planet and take the fight to Earth.
Mm.
And the Navi aren't going to take the flight to Earth because they don't have the interstellar capabilities.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Do we
I
know
mean,
that
even
yet?
even then, what they're
Um,
gonna like? The only other way is to think is they grow a giant tree and they shoot themselves into space, and
yeah.
then the tree's just gonna keep them enclosed. There's various ways. I mean, keep them enclosed, and then there's a lot of dumb shit they can do, but
Mm.
it's just I. No matter what, he's kind of pigeonholed himself.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly what the idea is for. I mean, I could pretty much already see kind of some of it here with this
Yeah,
one, of kind of where they're going with this. But yeah. I mean, gorgeous movie.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful movie there. I'll say that
It's a
till
spectacle movie, but there's not much else there.
cows come home, I'll say that. Till the Navi come home. But yeah, just story-wise, it's just pretty weak there with that, and you are getting a lot of stuff that you've seen in the second one and in the first one again. Nature versus humanity and these people, joining with nature and against the big corporation, military, industrial complex, and who's gonna win out. Um that aspect of that, and that comes back in here again. But like you said, I do like the family aspect. I think that's good. I think, that's a kind of good aspect of that. Some aspects of actual the Navi people and their culture and, a lot of that stuff is kind of cool and things like that. The action sequences are good when they have to be. It's just feeling very repetitive and very kind of like, okay, maybe there does need to be another big break between these Avatar movies. So maybe I can forget what happened before in this last one and go like, oh, maybe this is fresh again. Oh, okay. I haven't seen this in over 15 years. So maybe it's fresh again. So yeah, for me, I just kind of give it I mean, you got to see it if you are going to see, you got to see it on the big screen. So for that,
Yeah.
I'd give it like a tune in, for me. What about you?
If you're gonna see this, yeah, because that's the only way it's really made for is the cinema. But I just don't know, man. This is I'm just gonna give this a stream it.
Mm,
If you really want to see this, go to the theater. But otherwise, if you got a good home set up, there's no reason to drag your ass to theaters.
yeah. It's impressive though. I mean, how much emotion they can do with all this stuff, that's on them, all these ping pong balls that
Oh
are
yeah,
on them, and
sure,
you
sure. I
know,
mean, again, like I said, James Cameron is a incredible technical director. The amount of things he's done to get his career, he has earned his stripes. He has made he's literally patented technology for these films. Patent the water technology, patent the lighting technology, patent a lot of aspects. He's made breakthroughs in water equipment and submersibles to
yeah.
keep going to depths. Otherwise, to film more as like film footage underwater. That's one of his passions. He's a technical engineer guy, and you can see that. But he is not a writer.
Yeah.
He's not a
Uh,
wordsmith. He's not a storysmith.
yeah. Let's catch up on. I'm gonna catch up on this chat
Yeah,
before
go
we
for it.
close out of this review. This person said, Elena Fisher there said, the sequels are about 90 minutes worth of story stretched out into 6 hours of admittedly amazing visuals.
Pretty much,
Uh,
yeah.
Hunter says, oh yeah, that was good. Also, Zoe Kravitz only likes white guys too, so my joke still
Oh,
applies. That is true there. Um, says yeah in 3D. So yeah, IMAX. If you're gonna see it in IMAX 3D. Did you see it in 3D or just IMAX or
I
both?
just saw it IMAX.
Oh, okay. There's that there. Let's see. Hunter also said, I have all the Planet Earth documentaries. I'd rather listen to David Attenborough. With
Yeah,
that.
honestly, that is an idea. You could honestly just mute this movie, compile like a couple of shots, and make a really fun parody of Planet Earth, but with the Navi and doing it using AI with Edinburgh and just doing like the Navi in their natural environment. Honestly, would be more interesting than the story I've been presented.
Sage also said there's I think these movies think that they are deep.
Yes,
Um,
that's a good way of putting it.
Hunter said, "Who knew the Way of Water was absolutely was about shallow water? Was about
Mm,
shallow water there." Look at that. It says feels like 50 main characters now.
mhm.
Um, I mean, even with the new people we get introduced to,
Yeah.
it's still the same kind of circle of people. You still have like Giovanni Ribisi, who's like the angry corporate guy. You still got Edie Falco, who's the angry military person. You still got Stephen Lang. It's still kind of some of the same main core
They even
people.
brought back older characters that by this point I'm like, "Oh, you're still on this? Oh yeah, I remember you from like the first one."
Yeah. So, yeah. Or like that the
The scientist
that
dude.
yeah, the scientist dude. I forgot his name. The guy from that movie with Paris Hilton, Hot or Not, or Hottie and the Naughty, or some
The
shit like
hottie
that.
and the naughty.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy. But yeah, so even bring back some of those people. And then looks like some other human beings have joined the cause of fighting for the Navi. We saw in this movie there. No, not Jermaine Clement. The other guy, the tall guy, tall, skinny guy. But yeah, Jermaine Clement also is a good human guy in this movie too.
Yeah, he
There.
had a Navi body in the first one, he was fighting with everybody, and then it got shot and he woke up.
Yeah.
He's just
Um,
remaining a human body because they don't allow, I guess they're not gonna give him the resources to do that.
yeah, this is probably the best way to watch it. He says, Hunter said, I got a sound bar.
Yeah,
I'll have an edible and watch this 18 months from now. I just can't be bothered to leave my house for this.
I got you, man. I feel you.
Uh, and this movie has to make a lot of money. It's got to make a
It
lot of money.
does. It is one of the most expensive movies of all time. I think the budget was like $450 million,
Yeah.
not
So,
including marketing.
so this is a huge movie. I don't know. You think it can do as well as the second one,
I think
or
it'll do 7 to 800 mil.
that's it? Damn.
Maybe I just don't the people who are gonna watch this are gonna watch this, but I just don't think it's gonna have the, "Ooh, Avatar 2, it's been a long time." Maybe I'm wrong, but I think 8 to 900 mil is probably where it's gonna stop.
Mm. Yeah, like I said, the benefit of the second one was there had been such a big gap between
Yeah,
it. And I
I
know
just
some
yeah.
people, go like, "There's no well, these movies don't have any cultural impact." I do think these movies have cultural impact because if they didn't, the second one wouldn't make as much money as it did.
I think it's very limited, unfortunately.
It just is like, okay, now that these movies are so close together now, like 3 years apart, it's like, okay, I mean, which is
Yeah,
still
bump
good
them out.
distance for a sequel, but it's
Yeah,
like, are they really that special anymore? With that, are they really that special anymore? Um,
yeah. People
and
aren't
then
spending yeah, and Hunter's right. People are not in a great financial place at the moment.
I mean, Lilo and Stitch made a billion. That made a billion.
That Lilo Stitch is a I feel and I'm so mad that it did. I'm so angry that it made $1 billion because it just set the precedent even further of just gonna get slop from Disney, that atrocious fucking remake.
Zootopia made a billion too.
I mean, yeah, Zootopia was gonna make money. The first one was loved. It
Yeah.
didn't matter almost what it was gonna be.
Uh, and then Sage said, even though a lot of people saw the second one, I still didn't hear anyone say anything about it or see any references to it anywhere in pop culture. Uh, yeah. So we'll see there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Avatar. I mean, do people talk about like I guess some awesome sequence from Way of Water? I mean, I did think some scenes were impressive with that, and I think some scenes were impressive with this as well. But yeah. Kinda just same old in a lot of spots. So, you give it a stream it. I give it a tune in for Avatar: Fire and Ash.